I'm going to record this for a training thing. So even though we're just chatting, because that's what it's about, right? So let me ask Mark. Mark, do you have a Super Saturday to go to?
It's actually a Super Friday.
Okay.
But yeah, that and from my understanding, it's a pretty big one.
Where's it at? What city is it in?
That one is in Trumbull, Connecticut.
Okay.
Which is probably like 40 minutes from me, so it's not too bad. But I guess there's supposed to be like dancing and a DJ and stuff like I don't even know. It's at some kind of hotel thing, so.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah, that's pretty much. So like I think it was like a cocktail party type deal. I don't even know.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
So you're set to go. Is your brother going with you?
I haven't even really talked to him too much. I'm sure he will.
Awesome. Let's see. Okay, I'm just checking for something. Now, next, Garrett, you're going to Idaho Falls Super Saturday. You and Jamie, right? Sweet. Cheryl, do you know where your Super Saturday is? She does. Let me unmute you real quick. Where's your Super Saturday at?
Oh, you don't. It's in here.
I can't hear.
Salt Lake.
Oh, Salt Lake. Okay, Salt Lake. So Cheryl's is in Salt Lake. I have some other coaches in Salt Lake as well. So Cheryl's in Salt Lake.
Kelly Hewitt's going to be to that one, Cheryl.
Who is?
Kelly Hewitt.
Kelly Hewitt. Yes, that's one of Barton's coaches. Amy, Amy, I'm gonna do you know where your Super Saturday is?
I do. I saw that. Yes, and I will be there.
Awesome. I gotta make sure my dad goes too. Oh, he'll have my kids, so we'll see if maybe my mom watch him. He can go over there with you. But Garrett will be there.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
So awesome. Let's see who else we got to make sure we get everybody. Okay. Oh, Lisa, did you find your Super Saturday?
Mine's in Edmonton.
Sweet. Is Sean hosting it then?
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
I've actually I've connected with some Beachbody coaches here in Red Deer that just started a group.
Uh-huh.
Just because there's so many single random coaches here in our city, it's funny. So we just figured, Edmonton's done it, Calgary's doing it, so we started. So there's about, I think it's sad, like 23 of us, but
That's all right.
they're giving options to carpool just to get to know some other girls. And so if you don't have coaches or anything, so that option is for me if I find a sitter for 4 children.
I believe it. I believe in you.
I'm working on it, but yeah, so that was a nice group to join just to kind of not feel so alone here in Little Red Deer.
Yeah, that'll be good for you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and his Super Saturdays are fun because he MCs them and he's a DJ for like 18 years now.
I know. I'm excited to meet him. So
And they do it in the club too.
Yeah.
So I did see your text, Barton. I just wasn't doing any work and had my phone put away earlier today. I saw you asked a question about coach placement. Did that get answered for you?
Yeah, I knew your video was there. I just didn't have patience to wait to get to the point that I answered the question, but I got it at 11 minutes.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad you got that information. I know you also asked about the Sagi event. I'll just let you guys all know here. We're doing a local event with Sagi. It hasn't been – I'm announcing it officially on Friday, so I've been doing a lot of work putting together like a landing page for it for registration and whatnot. But Sagi is coming from Hammer and Chisel and Body Beast. We're going to do an hour and a half of personal development, and then we're going to do a photo op with Sagi, and then we're doing another hour and a half of personal development, and then we're doing a Hammer and Chisel workout with him. And I got to show you this. Check this out real quick. Here's the speaker lineup. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be in Fort Hall, which is like 40 minutes from Idaho Falls. So I'm working on this page. So got Sagi coming. Here's our speakers. We're going to have Sagi. I'm speaking. Jennifer Greenberg. She hasn't confirmed yet, but she will. I hope. Brigitte Linford is coming. Micah Folsom was top 10 last year, and she's number 11 this year. Barbie, she was top coach one year. Also the mentor of top coach Wayne Wyatt, Josh Spencer, who was the mentor of Wayne Wyatt. Doug Moss from corporate, and then Sean is going to MC the event and also speak at our event too. So it's going to be pretty awesome. So what was your question about it, Martin?
I don't really have a question about the event, but I'm going to fly Allegiant, which means I'm going to arrive Friday and not leave till Monday. I was wondering if there was anything other than that would be happening, or.
That'll be pretty much it. Aside from hang out with us when you're here.
Well, I was going to lead into that, but I didn't know if you're going to be hanging out with him.
I don't know yet.
Either way, I'll be there Friday night through Monday morning.
Cool. Yeah, I'll video chat with him on tomorrow to get all the details before I launch the page. Because we came up with some ideas for our VIP meeting with him, but I haven't talked to him about it yet, if he's okay with that or it's okay, so we'll figure out. So what I want to start with, this is our last weekly video chat for this month, for the December Coach Basics group. I already started my January Coach Basics group on Monday morning. Basically, I have them going through the checklist of 15 things that I have a new coach do. I also let them know about the daily accountability like we're doing in this group, checking in with that daily accountability and to mark their calendars for Tuesday. So if any of you guys want to be a part of January's group, let me know. And at the end, I'll be asking for some help from you guys to help run some groups next month for them as well. So we'll go through that calendar at the end of this call today. But what I want to talk about today, start off with, is how did the call go last week with Eric? Did you guys practice telling your stories? What did you guys do?
Really kind of like a Q&A. I mean, we didn't do our stories too much.
Okay, it was more of a Q&A?
Yeah.
Awesome. So for the first half of this call, what would you guys rather do? Would you guys rather do practicing sharing your message, telling your story, or would you rather do a Q&A?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give you guys what you guys need. That's what we're going to do. So, what do you want? What do you want? Okay,
Practice telling your story.
Practice telling your story?
Yeah.
Remember, that's the most important thing about this business is mastering telling your story. So let me get this link real quick. Pop this up here. Lisa, because you said that, you're going to be first, okay? You're going to be first. Where's Lisa?
Because I said what? Which Lisa?
Not Lisa Bergman, Lisa Matthews.
What did I say?
Aren't you the one that said practice the stories, or who said it?
Karen.
Karen.
Oh, Karen. So Karen's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find you. By the way, Karen, your posts have been super awesome on Facebook lately.
Thank you.
Tell us, let's start out, because this is the first time I've had you on one of these Coach Basics calls. So, or the first time I've seen you on video. You may have dialed in before. Okay, so the first time I've seen you on the video. So, do you know have you practiced telling your story yet at all? Going through it?
Not really.
Okay, so let's just walk through it first.
Okay.
Let's just walk through it. So, tell me how you felt before. How was your life before Beachbody?
I always felt tired. Me and my husband really didn't have like the communication we needed. We kind of were both in our own little worlds. Just work, home, the kids, work, home, the kids. And I never had time to do anything. And I don't know, my clothes were fitting tighter and I was just letting myself go.
Awesome. So how do you feel? Like, what results do you have with Beachbody so far? And how do you feel now versus before? Like, how's your life changed because of Beachbody?
I have more energy now. I feel like my kids, they try to work out with us or dance around with us when we're working out. Me and my husband love working out together. He's changed and left pretty much most of the bad habits that were causing major problems in our marriage.
Uh-huh.
And I just feel great, and I just like sharing it with people. I like helping people, and I like to help them feel like they're worth pushing through. Like, even though I never stuck with anything, like I had insanity for like a year and a half, and I never even touched it for like more than 1 week.
Yeah.
And I finally finished insanity. I did 21 day fix, and I just now started the Les Mills combat yesterday. So it's awesome. I love it. I'm in love with it. Yeah.
Awesome. So, tell me what kind of results do you have? So you told us some of the emotional things in your family and some of the changes in your family, and you have more energy.
Yeah.
Have you lost any weight or inches yet, or gained more muscle, or what's the story with that?
Well, I've lost about 6 pounds, but I've lost, well, I think since before insanity, it was like over 13 inches all around.
13? Awesome.
Yeah, all around. And I feel like I'm starting to see more muscle definition, so that's awesome. And then the Shakeology is just great. Like, I'm not bloated anymore. I can go to the restroom like I'm supposed to. I just feel like I have more energy. It's just been wonders to me.
Awesome.
I just don't know how to put it in words, or how to share my story, or how to like make a pointer out of my story so that it can, hit someone else's life. Like, say, oh, I'm like her, or I can finish my workouts and start eating better. Like, I don't know how to put it in words.
Okay, I'm gonna help you with that today. So,
Okay.
so you're doing good. You're putting it into words. Good. Everybody, raise your hand if you feel like you can tell that this is changing her life. You can tell, right? So now tell me. Sorry, we all got coughs and sore throats here now. So now tell me, why you're a Beachbody coach. Like, what are the reasons for it, and why will you always continue? Like, your own health and fitness journey. Why are you going to build a business with this?
Well, I mean, I really didn't know about coaching. I know when I got insanity, I was assigned a coach, but me and my coach really didn't have any communication. So I just did it to have, like, to be accountable and to go through my workout and finish it. That's why I opened a Facebook page, because I didn't even have Facebook before I became a coach. So pretty much for the accountability, I didn't know that I could actually help anyone, because I thought I couldn't even help myself. But then I started watching you on YouTube, and I thought, that could be a reality for me as well. Like, I got a family, and, I want the best for them, and I like helping people, and I want to better myself in their lives. So that's pretty much why I was just like, I'm in for it. And that's why I'll continue doing it, because I really don't want to go back to the same way I was before.
Yeah. Okay, so that's great. So those are the three elements of telling your story. The one that now let's work on figuring out, like, to be able to make that real strong connection with them, where it moves them.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be able to connect with them emotionally somehow. So let me mute everybody real quick, and then I'll unmute you so we don't have a bunch of side noise, and then I'll re-unmute you. 1 second. Karen. Okay. So Karen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So now so that was perfect. What I would do is I would write that out, like just some of those thoughts that you talked about, so you can begin to dial it in. So I didn't really even feel it like went all over the place. Like, you told me exactly how you felt, how you feel now, why you're doing it, and that was very clear. So let's get to find some points where you can really connect with someone strong. What are some things that you think everybody in this life struggles with?
Balance between work and family. That's like my biggest issue. It's like, I had to work on Christmas Day. Here in Alabama, we had like a massive flood. I mean, I was stuck in the puddle for like 15 minutes. My car wouldn't start until finally it cranked back up, and I was so upset I had to work on Christmas Day, and I'm gonna work on New Year's too. And that just like, it makes me just like want to work harder.
Yeah. Okay. I love that, Karen. I don't love that you're working that, but now, like, I want to know your story. Like, I want to figure out what this thing is that you're talking about. So telling those types of things, like, do you think there's other people out there that feel like you feel right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if, like, yours, for example, was working on Christmas. Hi.
Say
What's your name?
hi.
Hey.
Abraham.
Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other people that are working on Christmas. There's other people that are working on New Year's. But if we just look at those people, it might not be as many as you could reach. So your initial thing was connecting with a balance of life, like work and life, or spending time with family and work. So do you think people as well? Do you think there's people that work? Hi, Abraham. Do you think there's people that work overtime, the hours they have to?
Yeah.
For their family.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Karen. What does your husband do for work?
He's a welder. He works mornings. So I work nights now. I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So it's pretty much when he gets home from work, I leave.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you, there is a ton of people out there that have that same thing, where they're just working like 12-hour days, or one spouse is working in the morning, one's working at night, or if you're single, taking care of a kid by yourself, you're working and your kid's at daycare, and that's a pain because they want to raise their kid. When spouses work separate, that's a pain because they want to see each other. So there's a ton of things like that. So the way that you're going to do that, so what I want you to know is that when you shared that, like, you got emotional about it, right?
Yeah.
And tell me why it made you emotional. Why did it tear up?
Because it just makes me emotional to have my little girl tell me to stay because it's Christmas, or just to think, well, my husband's going to be by himself pretty much on New Year's with the kids, and I want to be there. I want to share with them, every moment I can, and not be stuck at work with people that really, at least they don't really care about you. It's not your family. It's not like you have that connection with them.
Okay. Awesome. So here's what you're going to do to make your story powerful. Okay. So, like, your story is awesome before it, and now we're going to make it super powerful. So, because that was your question, like, I don't really know how to tell my story into words. So here's the cool thing. Did Karen just put her story into words for us? Right? You put your story into words already. So now it's, and in the beginning, if you need to remember, just remember those things. This is how I felt before. This is how I feel now. And then what I do is I kind of go back to before a little bit. And that's where I share that little thing where you just talked for 30 seconds about how your husband's going to be home alone with the kids, right? On New Year's, and your kids are saying, "Mommy, I don't want you to go to work. I want you to stay here," right? So you're going to share that part. And then you go into, this is why I'm going to be a coach, or this is why I'm a coach. So, for example, I'll go through mine one more time so you can see how to kind of piece yours together. And you can make it short and it can be long. It depends on whatever conversation you're having with the individual. Sometimes you might only have like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So you got to get your compact version. And then there's sometimes when you might be sitting down with them for a coffee or something, and you have a half hour or hour where you can ask them questions, find out about them, and you can talk for, maybe share your story for 10 minutes or whatever, interacting back and forth. So what I would do, Karen, I'll do mine and then I'll have you walk through yours. So I would be, and here's the cool thing about it. I was listening to, as you guys know, I'm doing the world's greatest salesman. I'm reading each scroll 3 times a day for the next 10 months. So one scroll, I just finished scroll 1 for 30 days. Now I'm doing scroll 2. In one of the scrolls, I'm reading them, but I listen to it on YouTube when I'm working as well. one of them talks about it says something about the greatest business people or salespeople in the world built their entire career on one story. So I could tell you the same thing. I've built my entire career on one story. Because if I meet somebody or meet up with a friend, let's say I met up with Garrett that's on here, or I met up with Mark, and I haven't seen him for a long time, I can't come say that everything that we've achieved with Beachbody. Like, that won't make any sense to them. They won't connect with that at all. So what I'm going to do is tell the exact same story I told before I had one coach. The same story I told to the first coach. I'm still telling that to the coach prospect that I did today with Josh. When I did a call with a kid named Josh, it's the same message. I'm just better at it now that I was telling in my first month as a coach. So, you know, you're going to have a long time to work on mastering this story, but the more you tell it, the better you're going to get at telling it. It's going to be like people ask me, like, when I speak at the Sagi event or when I speak in Vancouver, like, are you nervous? I'm like, I'm going to tell the same story I've told like 17,000 times already. I'll tell the same story, and then I'll just teach something, how my life's changed. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just walk through mine real quickly, and then I want you to just kind of do yours again, adding in that part that your emotional part, and you'll see how I do mine. And I'll kind of interact with you a little bit, or ask you some questions. So I would be like, so I'll pretend you and I have already chatted a little bit, and you just ask me about the Beachbody thing. You know, what is that thing? So my basic story, my little package story, obviously you got to connect and go back and forth and ask questions, but mine would be, so crazy thing is I was working these 12-hour days, and my wife was working at nights, and, you know, I had just letting myself go. I was no longer in shape. I played sports when I was younger, but I just gotten way out of shape. I had 2 daughters at the time, and I just got lazy. I was eating these big breakfast burritos every day, drinking Rockstar energy drinks to stay awake at work. And the thing is this neighbor, this guy knocked on my door. I didn't know who he was. And he opened the door, and he had a plate of brownies. And I didn't know who he was, but he just said, "Hey, I'm new in the neighborhood. I heard you're about my age. I'm just looking to meet friends." And so I was like, "Oh, awesome. Come on in." And he's like, I made some brownies for your family. And the thing is, this guy was jacked. Like, he was like 6'3", 240 pounds. And I'm 5'11", 189 pounds, and really fluffy. So I just saw him, like, his biceps were bulging through his shirt, and I've never been fit like that. I was just asking him, I was like, "Dude, what the heck do you do to be that fit?" You know, because he had kids as well. And he's like, "Oh, I train the high school kids over at the football field. You know, I train I'm the special teams coach," is what he said, for the high school football team, and I weight train the kids in the morning. I was like, "Oh, awesome. I've always wanted to get in shape. You know, I'm kind of lazy, and I'm the heaviest I've ever been." And so he's like, "Hey, how about this? Like, why don't you come work out with me and the high school and the kids in the morning at the gym? Like, every morning I weight train them, and we do it at 6. Can you come with me?" And I was like, "Dude, I can't. I wish I could, but I have to leave for work at 5. So I couldn't go with him. But what I did is I asked him, "Do you know anything that I could do at home? Like, something I could do at home, because I got to watch the kids when I get home." And he said, "You should try that P90X thing." So I got P90X, and in 90 days I went from 187 pounds to 145. And I had abs for the first time in my life. I learned how to eat clean following the meal plan, and I stopped drinking the energy drinks every day and eating the big breakfast burritos every morning. And the craziest thing is, like, I had always struggled with self-esteem, but there was something about completing this program and having abs for the first time, and people asking me, like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, you look fit, you know, you look healthy, you're happier, you're more excited about life. What the heck are you doing?" And what it did is it kind of boosted my confidence, sharing what I was doing, like, you know, sharing with people how it was changing my life, and they began to do it. And so I was curious about it. It was funny. One of my friends said, "Wouldn't it be awesome?" He's like, "Dude, you always talk about this P90X thing to everybody. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could get paid to work out?" Because I was sitting at my job, 12 hours and miserable, and so I was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And so the funny thing is, I wrote some health fitness magazines. I asked them if I could share my story or share some advice to get paid, basically. And I didn't hear back from any of them, obviously. But as I was searching online, I found Beachbody Coaching. I found out that Beachbody paid people to share their results. So I connected with my coach, Lindsay, and she reached out to me, and she, I emailed her, and she called me, and I talked to her, and she was talking about how she left bartending. Like she had her baby London before she was married. And, she was talking about, she always thought she'd be married before she'd have a kid. And the crazy thing is that I connected with that because I got pregnant with my first daughter before I was married as well. And so I was kind of connected to her in that way. And then what she told me though, is that she left bartending and she was helping people with P90X from home. And not only that, but that because London, her daughter, was born prematurely, she had, $200,000 worth of debt. And when I heard that, I was like, holy smokes. I was like, I related that to my mortgage, which was it was like 187 at the time. And she's like, I'm paying it off. And I just absolutely love what I do, helping people. Obviously I got results with it as well. And she's like, you have amazing results. You'd be a great coach. You should be a coach, and help people. I think this is your answer. Like you said, how nice would it be to get paid to share Beachbody? And this is the answer. And it's the same question I asked after I got, found P90X. So what I did is, funny story, I didn't become a coach at that time. And I'll tell you why, Karen, because I was afraid. I was afraid because I worked 12 hours a day. My wife was working every single night. You told me before that you guys work separate shifts. Like that was exactly how my life was. And I don't know if you ever felt like this, but like I just wondered, I always wondered, is this some sort of punishment? Is it because no matter how many overtime hours I take, and my wife working 5 days a week, we can never really get ahead of the mortgage. It'll be 5 days before the mortgage is due, and I'm counting my overtime hours on the calculator at work to see how much I'm going to get paid, and then trying to figure out how much taxes are going to come out to see if I'll have enough money to pay my $1,500 mortgage when Monday comes. And the thing that happens with that is I was exhausted. I'm going to bed at midnight, getting up at 5, basically raising my 2 daughters by myself at night while my wife raises them during the day. And the crazy thing is when I'm laying in bed, no matter how exhausted I am, I don't know if you ever felt like this, but it would feel like I couldn't sleep, and it felt like the room would spin around me. And it was kind of a feeling of it was out of control. I couldn't get a hold of life, get control of anything. It felt like that, no matter how many hours, like I said, I worked, or how many hours my wife worked, that we could never get ahead. And it was like a fear, and it was felt heavy. I would feel like something was on my chest, that I couldn't get off. And I don't know, have you ever felt like that before?
Yeah.
Tell me when
especially these days with the holidays.
So
and it's my little boy's birthday is coming in February, and it's I'm pretty much having to work every weekend, and I'm I can't even celebrate his birthday.
And how do you feel when you think about that?
It sucks. It's like I'm out of control because I have to be asking for vacations or whatever, it just sucks.
It does suck. And that's what I thought as well. And it's funny, my friend Garrett that's on here as well, that's the same thing he said. It sucks. When I asked him, about joining as a coach, and he didn't have enough money, he told me the same thing. It sucks. And Karen, I could tell you, from the day I signed up, I knew that this was my answer, because I always wondered what the answer was to get out of that spin, out of that feeling of this just sucks, working this much and never getting ahead. And I could tell you that since, the funny thing is I signed up on April 11th, 2011, and it was 8 months later than I should have signed up, but I was afraid of some things. But what happened on that morning is my fear of knowing how to take care of my family became greater than my fear of failing as a coach, or learning how to share my story on Facebook, and learning how to make a blog, or to get myself in front of a video. My fear of taking care of my family and missing out on those birthdays and missing out on those activities, like you're saying, that became greater. And I could tell you that when I made that decision and I was all in, it was an all-in decision that I was going to learn this. was going to connect myself with people that were doing it. I have never felt that feeling in bed anymore of like scared or afraid. And it's because of Team Beachbody. And so I'm going to talk to you as if I'm a brand new coach, like a month in, 2 months in. So, and it's the same story I tell right now, remember? So but I'm going to tell you, Karen, I'm just like you, like how you feel. It just sucks. Having that schedule and ask for vacations. I wanted to go to Summit my first year as a coach, and I couldn't because I didn't have any vacation days left. But here's the thing. It's changed my life, the health and fitness wise, my relationships, my belief in myself, with my self-esteem. It's just changed who I am. So this is something I'm always going to do. And I'm going to help as many people that had those same pains and struggles as I did, just like you have right now, so that they can get out of that. And the more people, as long as I help as many people as I possibly can to do that, I'm going to help as many as I can so that my wife doesn't have to go to work anymore. So I don't have to be the guy like I am that raises his hand every time when they say, hey, we got to run the machines through the night because we have a job due tomorrow. I was always the one that raised my hand. And I'm going to help as many people with P90X, Insanity, 21 Day Fix, all these programs so that I don't have to be that person anymore. So I can be present for my family and for my kids, and so my wife doesn't have to work anymore. And Karen, I can see you're passionate about your family. You love your experience so far with Insanity, 21 Day Fix, and now Less Middle Combat. I want you to be a part of this team and this family with us. So that's my invite. And then I would invite you to start. So I would either invite you into a coach sneak peek group, or I do a soft close on everybody. I say, Karen, I'm not going to try to close you. This is how I do it on the phone. I'm not going to try to close you and make you sign up today, because I want you to sign up when you're ready. Like when you're committed, because that's when you're going to go all in with this. So I just want to kind of know, as your friend and as your mentor with Beachbody, when are you planning on getting started? Is it today? Is it in the next week? I understand you probably need to speak with your spouse first. I just want to know so I can follow up with you and help you get started the right way. What's your plan? And so that would be my invite. And then she would tell me what she needs to do, and then I would follow up. So did that help you a little bit, Karen, kind of know how to tell you a little bit? So
yeah, I think I need to write everything down and then just practice telling it to myself, I guess.
Yeah, tell it to the mirror. Tell it to some friends. Tell it to your husband. Tell it on our calls next month when we're running our January Coach Basics. Get on, practice it and get on and share it with us. We'll have you share it with us next month like that.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so we basically just kind of got to hear Karen's story here, kind of get an idea. And Karen, you have a story that's moving and compelling, right? You're gonna
and then it really sucks though, because I had to get a night shift job because I couldn't find a dependable babysitter, and I was paying over $520 a month for daycare.
Yeah.
And I had to finally quit my day shift job because the babysitter would just cancel out on me randomly, and we had just moved to a new area, so I didn't really know of any babysitters around, and there were no daycares. So it's the pressure of having to go drive from point A to drop them off and then pick them up, and then who's gonna pick up my little girl from the bus, and I'm still at work, and I was I just have to get a night shift job.
Yeah.
And I can't just be leaving my kids with random people that I don't even know. And that just killed me. So I feel
go ahead.
I said, I just feel I'm sure there's a lot of other parents in the same, in the same situation.
There absolutely is. And it won't be the exact same, but they're going to have some struggle. Here's what I feel 100% of people, this is 10 out of 10. They either don't get paid enough, so they got to work extra hours or 2 shifts or 2 jobs, or they got to send their spouse to work, right? Or if they do make enough and they're well off, they're stressed at work, they're not happy, they're not fulfilled. Maybe their family life isn't where it should be because they have to work so much for that good paying job. So you can connect basically with 10 out of 10 people if you talk something about finances in your life. But all it does is it takes being vulnerable, like you did, where you shared some tears with us.
Yeah.
All it takes is being vulnerable, and that's what holds coaches back, is they're afraid to open up and be vulnerable. I can honestly tell you that's why there's not as many guy top coaches, because and I want our team to do it, our guy coaches, right? But they've got to open up like that, and that's something I do on every single call, every single video I make, every single post I write, I share my emotions. And that's why most of the top, I don't think there's another guy in the top 50 of the company right now. And it's because they're not sharing that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And the girls are. So make sure guys on this call, Garrett, Mark, Barton, you guys are doing that. Eric, I know Eric's doing it. That's why he's going to be a top. Michael, you're going to do it, right? Thumbs up. Okay. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we are going to move on and kind of plan for next. I'm going to put you guys, I just see Karen right now. I like to see that, Karen, but I'm going to see everybody now in the gallery view. So what I want to do now is kind of plan out next month. So the more organized we are, the less time we have to waste trying to figure stuff out. And that way you guys can always be you can be clear, like basically remember, we talked about this month. Build a list of people, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, a like page, YouTube, a blog, figure out which works for you. Build a list of people and share your story with them. Connect with them, find out their pain, share your struggle, invite them. So where do we invite them to, right? So I'm going to ask Eric, what are some things that we can invite people to do, Eric?
Got some challenge groups, some free 5-day clean eating groups, coach sneak peeks, invite to a call, which is our favorite, invite to, what else do we have? A webinar. We can invite to, did I hit the main ones?
Yep, you hit them all, man. Hit all the main ones. Cool. Invite them to be a coach on your team and join the next coach training group. So what we've been doing, sorry, this cough is like killing me. I like recording this and I'm like hacking all over the screen for you guys. So last month was awesome. We had some groups formed. Thank you guys for running those groups. We had a clean eating group, a team challenge group. Christmas week we had off. And then this week we're running a coach sneak peek group right now. Garrett did the post for today. I did the post yesterday. And I don't see John on here, but John's doing the post tomorrow, John Meck. So what I want to do is write this down, and we're going to figure out what we are going to do as far as groups next month. So we're going to run a Coach Basics group. Okay. So write Coach Basics. It officially starts the first Monday. So write that down. So January the 4th is our Coach Basics group for January. And I've already opened that group up. So if you've sponsored any coaches this month, they should be in that group unless you're running one on your own. But just know that that's open for you guys. So Coach Basics, and just so you know, I open Coach Basics always a week early. So I have them do a checklist, a 15 checklist the week prior to officially starting. So we have that group up. So write that down, and I'll make a calendar of this, but I want you guys to write it down as well. I'll make a calendar so that you guys can see it. I'll put it at the top of my PS Coach group page. So if any of you guys are on here, were invited by one of my PS coaches, because I know there's a few of you guys like Melissa, your coach Lisa can take that calendar and customize one or use it. So next we want to run a clean eating group. So I'm just going to look at the calendar. So the clean eating group, we're going to start on the 11th. So write that down. Clean eating group the 11th. Let's start a challenge group on the 18th, a team challenge group. Of course, you can run your own challenge group separately, but we're going to do a team one for anyone that needs a team group to add people to. And then we're going to run a coach sneak peek group. My voice is going away. I can feel it. I'm going to start squeaking at you guys. We're going to run a coach sneak peek group on February 25th, or January 25th, sorry. January 25th. So,
Hey, Scotty,
yes, sir.
you mind if I chime in here for a quick second?
I want to hear from you, brother.
So I've been running a clean eating challenge group this past 5 days, and some of you are actually in it, and some of you have participants in it. Michael reached out to me after day 2 or 3 and said, so how do you want me to participate in this? So I thought I'd share with all of you what we as senior coaches, maybe you'd call us, what our intents or purposes of holding these group challenge opportunities are. You know, we sponsor them, we hold them, and then we post for you in essence. But we hope and expect that you'll post as well, that you'll engage as the group as a whole, but that you'll also find opportunities to engage the people that you brought into the group. So if you have someone that is actively posting, for example, in the clean eating group, if you have someone that's actively posting pictures of their meals, that's someone that is interested in what we have to offer. So then you as a coach can then engage that person on the side or in the group as their coach. You don't have to wait for the person that actually is sponsoring the challenge. So all those 4 challenges that Scotty just read off, take the opportunity and allow us to run it for you, but make sure you engage the people that you bring in so that you can be the person that they look to as their mentor, not the person that's running it.
Dude, thank you for saying that. So absolutely, we don't hope that you do that. We expect that you do that. We'll say that. So you'll never become the leader if you don't do that. So the same thing goes for our Coach Basics group. Like I have to give a shout out right now specifically to Eric, Myers, Barton, and Lisa. And I'm not leaving the rest of you guys out, but they, for example, they're my personally sponsored coaches. But they're in this Coach Basics group, for example, because they have their coaches in here. They have their coaches in here. So they don't just drop them off in my group and say, good luck, go do it. Like they're here with them, right? So good point there, Barton. So let's make sure that as we do this, that you guys do engage. And I'll tell you guys something that happens that I want you guys to understand. And I'll give Garrett a shout out for this. So Garrett is running this Coach Sneak Peek for today. Instead of copying pasting the videos that were in the guide that I gave him a guide. It had my videos. It had Kendra Fletcher's videos. Garrett went ahead and made his own video. He emulated what we talked about, made his own video, and posted it in there. What happens, guys, is I go to, and it's kind of weird for me, but I go to an event like Summit, and I have to, like, in order to get to my classes and workshops to teach, I got to, wear a hat and a trench coat and hide my face and run with my head down and pretend I'm on the phone to get to a meeting because people want to stop and they form a line and they want to take a picture and talk. Like, I've got stopped for 3 hours before in a hallway. And it's because all these coaches that aren't on our team, they watch just my YouTube videos. And so basically I'm their mentor, not their PS coach or their sponsor coach. I'm their mentor. Because what happens is their coach takes my videos and trains them with my videos. And so they look at me as their mentor. So it's important that what Barton says, you engage with your customer in there, not me, because I don't want to be their leader. I want you to become their leader. So as we form these groups, make sure that you're being that person. Now, obviously, it's okay to share someone's videos. Like I shared Jennifer's video, Greenberg, her video this week. I've shared some of Eric's videos before. I've shared one of Garrett's, shared one of Mark's before. I'll share videos, but make sure that you're sharing who you are as well. So here's the deal. We're running Coach Basics. Let's get 2 or 3 people. How many people do we have on here? We have about 12, 13. So I need 2 people that will help me run Coach Basics this month. Who wants to help with Coach Basics? Raise your hand. So your responsibility with Coach Basics is I'm going to actually have you hosting at least one of these calls on a Tuesday night. And I have a guideline for you to follow. I've put it together. I'll be on it as well. And then you'll be responsible for 1 week of posting the accountability, What are you doing in your business that works for you? What are you doing that's not working? So you'll do that every day for 1 week, plus run the Tuesday night call. Who would like to do that with me to practice your leadership? Mark, awesome. Let me write Mark in here. Sorry, I'm typing it in so I don't have to try to remember. And who else wants to help run the Coach Basics? Raise a hand. First one I see, Garrett. Awesome, thanks, Garrett. Okay, so Garrett and Mark and I will run Coach Basics. Okay, clean eating group on the 11th. Who wants to run the clean eating group?
Amy does.
Who is that?
Amy does.
Amy Contreras?
She's been rocking it the past 5 days.
Okay, Amy, you're going to be a part of the clean eating group. You're going to have 2 other people to help you.
I can be on it. I am actually traveling that week, but I can certainly try.
Oh, awesome. And so it'll be a week long. Will you be able to do it with 2 other people if we have 2 people help you?
Michael does.
Okay, Michael.
Michael's got people ready to go.
Michael. Okay, one more person that would like to help with a clean eating group. Okay, yes, Karen. Okay, the challenge, the group, the challenge group. Let's see, who do we have left? We got Cheryl. Cheryl, do you want to work on the challenge group? Cheryl. Let's see.
When is that challenge group?
The challenge group is going to be the week of the 18th. And I'll put the calendar up as well.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, I can't tell who's on the phone. Melissa, let's see, we got Lisa.
Lisa's got her hand up.
Lisa Bergman. Okay, Lisa, you did the clean eating last week, right? Last month?
Yes.
Lisa, could I actually have you do the work on the coach sneak peek?
Yeah.
The reason I say it is because let's give her a hand. She went Ruby on Thursday. She's a Ruby coach. She went Emerald, then Ruby, which means 2 of our coaches became Emeralds. So she's like, you're this close to Diamond. So I want you, because you're building the business, I want you to help run the coach sneak peek because you're having some great business success so far. But do you want to be a part of the clean eating group as well? It's up to you. You can
well, the thing, I was going to have a challenge anyway.
Okay.
The third week of January.
Okay.
So,
do you want us to put you on the challenge and the coach sneak peek?
what do I have to do in the sneak peek?
So Garrett is running it with me right now. Basically, I have an outline that I'll send to you. And it was put together by Kendra Fletcher.
Okay.
So what you'll do is you can even a couple of the videos I replaced hers with mine in the outline. So some are Kendra, some are mine. You can post those, or you can emulate. Like, for example, today Garrett talked about the 3 vital behaviors. He took my 3 vital behavior video and just made his own.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have about 6 videos. I was going to remake anyway for a coach sneak peek.
Okay.
I'll see if they're similar. But I wasn't planning on doing them this month, but I guess I will.
Hey, this will get you in action. Okay, let's do it. Let's have you I'll put you on there, Lisa. And you'll also be on the challenge group?
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here because there's only a few of us on this call. However, I think some people don't really understand how the point of some of these groups, what the idea is, like the 5-day clean eating that we're trying to move people from something free into a 30-day or 21-day group afterwards, and then convert them from there into like a coach sneak peek. It's like a process.
Yes.
And again, like I said, the people I'm talking to on this call probably know this. It's some other people, but I've noticed that. And the challenge groups should be, the 5-day clean eating groups, I think, are for people who don't know anything, people who aren't doing programs, people who have never done anything and haven't spent any money, and you know, they don't know, we don't know if they're going to or if they're not going to, but we're there to help them. So to go in a clean eating group for 5 days and be rah, 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 I'm doing hammer and chisel and I'm doing body beast and I'm doing 21-day fix, it kind of defeats the purpose of a 5-day group, because these people don't know that yet. You know, at the end of that 5 days, we're going to tell them about it. But the first 4 days of that group, you know, it kind of throws people off and it gives them a different idea, because the only thing they came in for is to learn about clean eating, you know, and to see what our groups are about.
So yes. So what we need to do is we need to get this message out about this process.
Yes.
And you know, this will be our 3rd month with a calendar, right? Of set groups now. So it's going to be, and I put together a guide on how to run this Coach Basics and help plan groups for the next month. Like everything's like, let me show you so that you know about it. So when you're ready to go out on your own, I'll show you what I have. Okay. So, and I don't want to forget, Lisa, I have something I want to ask you. So Lisa, you're going to be busy this month. January, this is your year. You're almost diamond. I want you to do a team call. We can talk about it later. But I want you to do a team call talking about the flow of these 4 groups.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
This is what we're doing. This is why they're in this order, so that one can go into this group. So one can go from a clean eating group to a challenge group, hopefully, or from a clean eating to a coach sneak peek, or a challenge group into a coach sneak peek. They become a coach.
Right.
The next month is a coach basic, so they can get trained, so that they can understand that flow. Would you be willing to do a team call on that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, here's what
I think it's really important to know this, to not throw people off in these groups to something totally that, you know, they're just like sideswipe saying, what the heck is this? This isn't what I trained for.
Yeah, and that'll really help, because our clean eating groups need to be like that. So you can teach in each of these groups what we're doing, why it's processed, why it's in this order, why we have a calendar, what you're inviting, what type of person you're inviting to each group, what kind of posts go in each group. And then we can, at the end, I can have you give them this sheet that I made that links everything. It has links for everything, so they have all the materials to run them. Okay. But it's never good just to talk about it. You gotta make action. So, Lisa, January 21st. I'm talking about our Thursday call. Would you rather do the 14th, the 21st, or
14th is Garth Brooks? No.
Can't mess with that. Or the 28th.
28th is good.
Okay, and that will lead everybody into knowing what's going on in February. So I'm going to put it in my calendar right now. Lisa, team call. I'll just we'll call it process, and we'll learn how to word it so we can get everybody on there. We'll promote it good too, so we can get everybody on the team knowing what's going on.
Yeah, cool.
So I said, what was the date? The 28th?
Mm-hmm.
At 7:00 p.m. I'm going to put an alert a week before so we can start promoting it. Okay. I'll be on that call with you too. You'll just be running it. So let me show you this that I have put together. So I put this together how I run my Coach Basics. Here's the checklist. Here's the thing I put at the top. Here's the picture description. Post this accountability up every day. As the leader, share your answers. So there's my daily post accountability that we do. Step 4, weekly video chat. You choose your day and time. This is if you're going to run your own group, or when you get to the point that you're doing this with your own PS coaches, and you branch off from us. So weekly video chat. The topics, week 1, I have the topics, everything I talk about. Set the expectation. You're not their boss or their babysitter. Lay the foundation for success. Importance of personal development. Talk about not giving them homework. The goal is Success Club and Emerald. I also did recorded each week a video so that you can kind of see a sample when you're ready to run your own. So this is like a manual that we can have to give to our coaches that want to follow this process that we're going to be teaching. And then what I'll do is Lisa's call, when she does the process, I'm going to put it at the end. So right now, if you watch, like I followed this schedule, question and answer, then 30 minutes planning next month. So I'm following it. even though I may seem like the experienced coach, I'm following this to a key so that you guys have something to follow as well. But what we'll do is, Lisa, when we do that team call, I'll add the link in here to that. I'll add it in here with these 4 groups. Like, here's what this process is and what each group is for. So we can add it in here so coaches can be trained with it. So I put this in my team page in both the Team Dynasty and the Scotty's PS Coach page as a file. As a link you can click, and it just goes to my Google Documents, How to Start Coaches. But basically, this links to all my Coach Basics videos right here. This links to a clean eating guide that I think it's Lisa's that you shared, Lisa. It gives you all the posts that you can do or ideas. This is a bunch of challenge group ideas so that you can just get all those ideas so you don't have to create something. You can take them and add some spice to it or whatever to make it yours. And then here's like, Lisa, for example, when you want to run the coach sneak peek, all I'll do is I'll send you this link right here, and you'll have the template for the coach sneak peek group. And if you have your own, you can obviously do that too, but that's what it is. So I have this put together so that you guys know that. And I'll show you where I grabbed it. Let me put it in the team page right now. It's just right here, how to do Coach Basics. I'm going to put it in our Coach Basics group right at the top so that you guys have that. And of course, anything that we add in the future, I'll add to that. So I did this, and I'm going to tell you guys why I did this. I'm just one of those, like Lisa said, we got to kind of get our coaches knowing what's going on so there's less confusion. When there's less confusion, you can be focused on your job. So like I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't very good at teaching other people exactly what we were doing until the last minute. I'm like, okay, Coach Basics group up, add your people in, but I knew about it the week before. So that's why we're doing the calendar now so that you guys can be on that. And so you guys can be clear on that as well. I forgot, we got to finish this, getting the rest of the schedule filled out. Who else? I'm going to speak Spanish because one of my coaches on here is Spanish speaking. Cindy, ¿puedes ayudar con el challenge group? See, okay. So we're going to have Cindy help with the challenge group. And then we need one more person that will help. Barton, do you want to work on the coach sneak peek or the challenge group, my brother?
Both.
Both. Boom. Let's do it. Let's see. Barton, and then I'll put this up in the page, and I'm going to show you guys one other thing. Okay, so we need one more person to help with the coach sneak peek. I ran the last 2. I would love to be a part of it. I will be in it, but I would love it if some of you guys would actually host it. And I'm noticing, Melissa, we don't have you down for anything.
Scotty, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So even when you don't run the sneak peek, can you post your video of your story because it's so powerful?
Yeah. So one of the things in the coach sneak peek is coaches tell us how Beachbody's changed your life. All I'll do is I'll post one of my videos in there. So whoever's hosting it, Lisa, if that's your day, what you would do is you'd post that, hello, my name is, or whatever, and it will say like, coaches that are a part of this team, share with us how your life's changed. In the comments, if I'm in that group, I will either type it out or share it on video.
Yeah, but another thing is, and people might get mad at me for this one, and my thing is honesty, and I got to tell you, I think it was yesterday, or I guess it was yesterday's thread in that group. And, while a lot of us are new and we don't have a lot of stories, I think for a sneak peek, and I've talked to a few of my coaches about it, but I think for a sneak peek, we need more than just, I've been a coach since September, I've been a coach since November, I want to help people, I want to do this, I want to do that, because it's not really inspiring, and it's not going to show somebody who's on the fence, it's not going to make them jump off that fence. They're just going to say, yeah, so I want to help people too, but what have they really gotten from it? It's not really powerful enough to show, like, I paid off this, or I paid off some debt, or I want to versus I did in a sneak peek is really my personal thoughts the key. Yeah. you know, and not to get me wrong, not that these things aren't great, that we want to do it, but somebody coming in that has nothing to do with Beachbody, to see that, it doesn't really impact them enough, I don't think.
Okay. So what we do, we'll obviously have some stories where people have done it. Like mine will be in there and some other ones. But what you can do, like Eric has done it. Eric and Dominique have done it. So the way it is simply just rewording, because we need all these coaches to share and practice sharing and get everybody sharing. But instead of saying I hope to or I want to, it's where we talked about with Karen today, saying, hey, this is why I got started. This is how it's changed my life. Because I'm helping people with Beachbody, I will leave my job and do this full time. So instead of and that's going to be the same thing with when you're sharing your story with somebody. There's going to be a huge difference in saying, if I'm sharing with Lisa, I'm like, this is what's happening, and one day I hope that I can get retire my wife from work. I'm hoping that if I work hard enough, my wife will be able to not work. So I never said that. It was, I'm going to help as many people as it takes, and I will bring my wife home from work. So when you guys do share your stories on there, it's all about your wording, and that will have power. And that'll be with every one of your prospects as well, is I will do this. I will. Right.
And I think just with a good mix of, and it doesn't just have to be your story, Scotty, because Beachbody has a gazillion different stories out there. There's a bunch of people who have done, even Lindsay or, whoever, there's a lot of people that have done things, quit their jobs, brought their husbands home, be able to stay home with their children, whatever it is, that have done that. So just with a nice even mix at least, but when you have 20 people saying I want to and 2 people saying I did, it's not really impactful. My opinion, again, it's not very impactful for somebody, debating it to say, okay, I'm ready, let's go.
How about this? I have an idea. So one of the most important parts, like the lost art we talked about this whole month, was the art of telling your story. Emotionally connecting with people, telling your story. Also, I think it's the only thing, I don't notice when I did my story to Karen, whose story did I tell? Even though I have one of the best stories in Beachbody, did I tell somebody else's story? I told Lindsay's. I told Lindsay about Lindsay's $200,000 of debt. Lindsay not working as a bartender anymore. So what you want to do is, let's say Barton's sharing his story. So he can comment on there, share his story, but he can also share one that inspires him from somebody else. One of the coaches that he follows that's an elite coach, or whether it's Brigitte or Jennifer or Shiva or Kendra or Jenny Haushin or Gina Hunter or Sean Bourguignon, any of these guys, you take them and share their story and put that in there as well. Because one of the biggest things, it's the art of telling your story, but it's also the art of telling other people's story. It's telling other people's story as well, because I had no financial success when I started. I told what Lindsay did, and I was going to do what Lindsay did. Not I was hoping to. Lindsay did this, I'm going to do that too, right? So share other people's stories as well. I think that'll be a powerful thing. So thanks for bringing that up, Lisa. So that's basically, we have that calendar put together. What I'll do is I'll put the calendar together, and I'll put it in in my PS Coach page. I'll also I'll upload it into the Coach Basics group so that you can grab it and put it in your team page if you need to. Eric's back there doing something, but Eric, I'm going to have Eric help with the Coach Sneak Peek group as well. So Eric, you're it. So I will put those in there as well. One thing I want you guys to do though is I want these groups, and I'm going to get better at it as well. This month I will be better at this as well. What I want to do is, so here's, can you guys, I didn't share my screen yet, did I? I'm looking at my screen and you guys can't see it. I'm okay, can you guys see my screen now? So this is at the top of my page, of my team page. So I'll upload this in the Coach Basics so that when I make the new one so that you have it. But what I want to do is, so look, I put right here, add coaches to Coach Basics. And then we had our Coach Basic Start. We had our Start Clean Eating group. We Start Challenge group. What I want to do is, if you notice over here, I did I put our team calls in there. So Monday night team call, Tuesday night video chat, Thursday night team call. And then I ran the Coach Basics. I didn't do it for the Coach Sneak Peek, but let's do this for next month. Let's get the groups up a week early. We don't have to invite people into them, but let's create the groups. So let's say this past month, you're doing this challenge group. Let's create that like on the 6th or the 7th. You don't have to invite people to it. Just create it. That way we have the link. And then you could put the link for the team so everybody knows where the group's at, so that people know how to join, request to join the group, and they have the link to send to their prospects when the time comes. So like this. So for the December Coach Basics, I just put the link right here. So what we could do is we could have like the January Coach Basics. I'm running that with Garrett and Mark. So I'll just put the link to the January Coach Basics, and then we'll have then we'll have the Clean Eating group, and then we can have you guys put the link for the Clean Eating group when it's created, like a week early. Does that make sense? Like a week before it's supposed to start. The challenge group, you can put it up, or at least like 3 to 5 days before it's supposed to start. And then that way we have one place at the top of your team page where everybody can see the links to the team calls and the links to the 4 groups we're running that month. Everything's in one place every month. So does that sound like that'll help you guys out in January? Okay. We are out of time, but I want to ask one thing. So I did recognize Lisa for advancing to Ruby. Is there anyone else this month that got their first Success Club points? Like you've never had Success Club points and you got them? Okay, Garrett, awesome. Way to go, brother. So Garrett got his first ever. Melissa got her first ever Success Club points. Did anybody hit Success Club for the first time this month? Melissa, way to go. Hit Success Club for the first time. Awesome. Did anybody advance in rank aside from Lisa? Melissa went to Emerald. Barton, what do you got over here?
I'm going back to Diamond.
Going back to Diamond. So he went from Diamond to Emerald, and he's going back to Diamond. There you go, brother. Did anybody else? Let's see if we had anybody else yet. Eric and Dominique, they were Diamond. They lost their Diamond account and they got it back this month. So way to go, Eric, on that. And I'm saying this so that you guys know that it's not the end of the world if you lose something, right? Jim Rohn always talks about you're going to have your spring, your summer, your fall, and your winter. So, you're going to celebrate your springs and your summer, but you got to work hard through the winters. You got to know that they're going to come. Winters are those times when everybody's telling you no, or when you drop your rank and you got to get it back, or when your Emerald drops their rank and you lose your Diamond. Those are going to happen. So it's part of the business. So just realize that as you move forward, you're going to have a challenge pack return sometime. I've started the month with a -2 SC points before, right? But I don't look at that and be like, it's the end of the world. What am I going to do? I just say, hey, I guess my goal this month is SC 12. So just realize that you're going to have each of those seasons, and it will prepare you mentally to be able to build this business. Because remember that you guys are building a real business. So I just want you guys to know I love you guys. If we didn't get to celebrate any of your success result-wise this month, I want to ask anybody that didn't raise their hand for one of those, what can you share with us about your business that's improved this month over last month? And I know, Lisa, or Amy, Amy, what can you celebrate? I saw your results for the 21-day fix, so tell us about it.
Well, after the 21-day fix, I am down 18 pounds and almost 13 inches, 12 and 7/8, as my husband says. And I actually sold my first challenge pack today. I had a couple of ladies that I've been talking to, and one again tonight, now that we've been on the call, that is thinking she probably can swing it. She can make her finances work. So
awesome. Way to go. So that's 2 people. You got 2 lives. I look at it, you gave 2 people the opportunity or the gift or the answer to help them achieve some goals or some things they've really wanted in life. So your role, Amy, as their coach is to make sure that you do the things that if they follow you, they'll be successful.
And we're working on it. It's like,
I can tell you guys, I've watched. Amy's been on every single Zoom chat, every single one. Shows up in the groups every day. Obviously, that transpired into other parts of her business where she had those amazing results with her 21-day fix as well. So awesome. I really got to get upstairs and get my kids to bed. So I got to work tonight. I played with my kids all day, so I got to work a little bit tonight till like midnight. So appreciate you guys being on the call. I'll make sure that I, at least by tomorrow, get the calendar done and get that all put up for you guys. And then we'll go from there. Does that sound good? Okay. I love you guys. You guys are all awesome. And let's continue to change our lives and inspire other people to do so in the same. See you guys later. Oh, yeah, one last thing, and I lost one. If you want to be a part of January Coach Basics, make sure that you join it as well so that you can be a part of that. Okay, this time I'm leaving for real. See you guys later.